You jump on the
Uh,
roof.
I mean, he didn't do this, but he pointed to you, you're finished. We are going to hear about it in the news.
Jacking my swag.
Please, Inse, as soon as Believe comes, we need to ask him to grease this mic because it makes too much bloody noise. Please, that's very important. I know I keep forgetting. There's no reason for us to be suffering like this. Like, we don't have oil.
Sweet, sweet.
It's like, and
Yeah.
Yeah. Quite noisy.
Mike's still up. Studio's live.
Welcome inside the locker room.
Once the clock strikes 8:15, you know it's time for us to talk sports, especially on a Wednesday like this. And we have Tega in the studio with us to join Folu and myself.
Good
All right,
morning.
Valentine.
Good morning.
Of course. Welcome. Let's talk sports. Remember to send in your messages to our WhatsApp number 0809 444 0981 or just tweet at us that hashtag it's locker room 981.
Lagos, we start with the story. Golden Eaglets assistant coach Nduka Ugbade that the semi-final clash with Niger Republic, hosts of the Zonal 2019 Under-17 AFCON Championship, will be a must-win for the resurgent Nigeria lads. In his words, we were beaten by Niger at the 2017 Under-17 FIFA World Cup qualifiers. We will do battle against them no matter what the situation. Now, the first semi-final will be between Group A winners, Ghana against Cote d'Ivoire, who fought back from a 5-1 loss to Nigeria to beat Burkina Faso 3-0. Payback, Tega.
Yes, payback time and an important match. Well, most important to win, then you can call it payback after you've won. Just to go out and try to do revenge and then lose again. But it's important. This tournament is to qualify for the under 17 AFCON.
Yes.
So they need to win their games to play. Fortunately for them, after losing to Burkina Faso, they woke up and they beat Cote d'Ivoire. And they still have to beat Niger. Niger, I know you think Niger is just that country at the side that they don't look like they. Yeah, when they want to put sand in your gari, it's very easy. They just know how to do it. And I mean, the coach remembered the Nigerian team were beaten by Niger at the last World Cup qualifier. So let's not even try to misbehave. So I hope it will be a better game. Well, Cote d'Ivoire didn't really put up a good showing. Niger is very solid defensively. They have not even considered a goal yet in this tournament. Nigeria has already conceded 4 goals, because they considered 3 against Burkina Faso and 1 against Cote d'Ivoire. So Niger's defense is really solid. And if Nigeria doesn't score, they shouldn't concede. But what it is, Nigeria has considered 4 goals, so it's a bit scary that you come against a team that is solid defensively, and you have some issues defensively. But let's see how this will turn out. If Nigeria scores an early goal, it can quickly go downhill from there for Niger. So let's see how it turns out for them.
Okay, let's talk about Liberia next, as Liberian President George Weah played in an international friendly for his country on Tuesday at the age of 51. Show off. Anyways, Weah featured for 79 minutes of a 2-1 home defeat by Nigeria in Monrovia. Liberia arranged the friendly to retire their number 14 shirt that was worn by Weah at his playing peak. Now, Etebo took the corner from which Simeon Wanko headed Nigeria into a 2-0 lead after Henry Onyekuru, on loan at Galatasaray from Everton, had scored the opener. And the home side pulled one back with the late Bas Sherman penalty.
Okay, here's what was interesting. When this friendly was announced, the first question is, why are we having this friendly?
Yeah.
Ceremonial
Ceremonial match, maybe.
Why are we having this friendly? The first question was, why are we having this friendly? It was the timing. It was yesterday. Players are supposed to return to their different bases today. What's the rush? Why must we hold this friendly? But okay, Liberia requested for it. But what is Liberia's FIFA ranking? How does it help our coefficients? Because with friendly wins, you kind of get points to, to add.
Yes.
What is this going to do for us?
Mm.
There was no answer. Only for yesterday when the boys arrived, then George Weah came to talk to them and he said that I'm ready for you. And everyone was like, he's playing? They thought he was joking. No. They did think because it was not part of the plan, because they thought it was a normal friendly.
Yes.
It turned out at the end of the day to be a lottery game to retire.
Excuse me, this is a lot of pressure. When you see some of these presidents step onto the pitch,
Yeah. No, I thought it was a regular friendly, but now this was just a celebratory game or congratulatory game. You can't even categorize it as a friendly. I think Nigeria carried half the players they carried. I mean, Wilfred Ndidi was there, Etebo was there, John was captaining, Kelechi Iheanacho.
they went to ball.
Do you understand? These are guys that thought they went to play friendly to help the country. They need to retire somebody.
Was going to be
Exactly, to retire somebody's ridiculous. And so when he said that, everybody was surprised. Like, no, this guy is joking, right? He's joking. When he says we are ready for him, he doesn't mean like himself.
Yeah.
And then the match starts and he's right there, pot belly and all. Just
How did he play?
like a 51-year-old.
I was curious.
And there was
But like a healthy 51-year-old.
But you could tell the players were cautious around him, and you don't want SSS to just call their own people. I don't know what it is called. But he did get a few tackles in. I mean, he played 79 minutes. They're going to tackle, but it almost seemed like Nigeria finished the first half with 2 goals. But it did seem as if when they came out to the second half, they recognized that it was ceremonial.
Yes.
So they kind of calmed down,
Okay.
and then Liberia got to play. But I think what it should have been, if they requested this with the purpose of retiring George Weah's jersey, they should have told we should have known about it.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have thought it was a regular friendly. We should have known it was a ceremonial game, so that we know what we are doing. But you get there and then find out that it is not a friendly but a ceremonial game per se.
They needed our top guys there for photo ops.
No, it's not. Folu.
Because if we know, we would not have sent
Folu,
top guys. It was calculated on Liberia's part.
Yeah, but I think it was also. I think they would have told somebody on our side because they paid for it. You think it was free?
So it's gag
So
money.
I'm just thinking, how much of that money is coming to us? I can't be using us to play now.
I want to see replays, just see how they try to tackle him. He's scared around. He's holding the ball.
As president.
Anyway, Lagos, remember you can send your messages to WhatsApp. That number is 0809-444-0981. Our next story, Joshua, that's Anthony Joshua. He's ready to defend his IBF, WBA, and WBO heavyweight gold against Alexander Povetkin on September the 22nd, after being taken the distance for the first time in his previous outing against Joseph Parker. Joshua said about his game and his style, go in there and have fun. Don't be cautious because it's really my aggressive style. Go out there and take out Povetkin is what I plan to do. He didn't add that, but I did. He says, like I would do with any other opponents, maybe I'll box and keep it simple. Maybe I'll just keep the tight guard and go pound for pound, trade for trade. You think he's ready?
I think he should stop talking and just knock the guy out. Let's move on. This fight is on the 22nd of September, and there hasn't been so much noise about it as there would be some other fighter. But what it is that he still has that record on the line. He is still unbeaten, undefeated. So he needs to get out there and keep that record of being undefeated. I think there's no need to try and, you know what, after his first few fights, where people were saying before they sit down, he would have knocked people out, before they grab their popcorn, the fight is over, that. And then he started making fans enjoy their money a little. I don't think he should do that with this fight. I think he should start knocking people out as soon as he sees an opening. Yeah. No need to romance the guy. Just end it. Especially as for what it is, because right now he's going to have a couple of mandatory fights that have no consequence, and I don't know who it is for. I'm sure some people are making their money, but it doesn't make any sense that they are tampering or reducing the quality of his opposition. I want to see a wilder fight this year, but it's not going to happen. I want to see it early next year. I don't think it's also going to happen. So I think he needs to knock this guy out quickly, and then the next one out very quickly, so that they'll arrange a better quality.
So we can keep things.
Okay, we've got a few messages. Let's take a couple of these. Chimabi Victor says the Super Eagles didn't disappoint against Liberia. While for the Golden Eaglets, they should all go out and attack Niger Republic. Tega, I believe in this team. But on the other hand, he was quite upset at the NFF using our professionals to execute the novelty match. But Chimabi, I'm sure by now you have heard the explanation, so please don't get angry. Taya from Yaba says, George Weah reminded me of Morata, star striker who didn't score a goal. Lol. And Omasan from Lekki says, who won't give President sliding tackle? Baba Buhari would have helped us beat Argentina, because even Messi would be scared.
There's a word in there.
You guys did there. We are going to take a break, so do keep those messages coming in, though. Use the hashtag LockerRoom981 up on Twitter. Those Twitter messages are always fantastic because they're short, concise, and to the point. But you can also comment up on our YouTube live stream. Go there to find us right now. It's youtube.com/smooth91FM Lagos. Ferrari. Take a buy me Ferrari.
Right after I buy mine. I won't say no. Just right after I buy.
Start with Note 9. I've not really purchased Note 9 yet. Let's start serious. I've still not purchased the Note 9. And there's a chair I want to buy. I'm in a very Susie homemaker mode. Just trying to buy things for my room that I can move into my own house when I'm ready.
We'll just be storing them. Very
No
useful.
time.
Just-
I'm like, please give me my light bulb. my chair.
Well, your light bulb costs more than
Yes,
full
now.
apparatus.
My light bulb costs more than I have the house. Please
Yeah.
give me my light bulb. Let me collect it to where I'm going to. My light bulb, my chair, my shoe rack.
Reminds me of in my store. I took out all my light bulbs,
Yes.
all of them.
Yes.
Some of them are broken now.
It's not cheap.
So
though.
it's in our
Collect your
store. It's in our
property.
store downstairs because we couldn't put it in the house because we had those. They're all downstairs, half broken.
Collect your property. No time to waste this time.
Took down fittings. It was bad.
But there's this gorgeous chair. I've just been staring at it. I asked, it's like, how much? And I'm like, I don't have the money yet, but I'll buy this chair. Let me show you.
There is now a way to live on top of the world, literally, and Fairmont Hilltop Service Plot. Alagbado is it. Top-notch amenities, eco-friendly and secure environment. 20 minutes from the Ikeja Airport.
Why does this school can look very Israeli sometimes?
With prices starting from
Like a boy keeper next, it looks Arab or Arab.
I'm going to say, why are you yawning? I'm out of sleep now.
You just tired, no?
You don't know.
090
I like sleep. Oh.
49885.
The interwebs is not responding appropriately.
It's raining now. You know how it is. Once it rains, everything
It's
stops.
everything you'll be doing like this.
We're back in. Ooh,
Okay.
sweet go. Swift. Max up. Studio. You're tuning into Smooth 98.1. You're listening to The Locker Room here. It's part of Smooth Breakfast with Folu.
And Valentine.
Good morning.
We've got our next sports story to talk about. Let's go over and talk driving, shall we? Ferrari has confirmed junior driver Charles Leclerc will step up from Sauber next season to replace Kimi Raikkonen. Now, on Tuesday, Ferrari confirmed Raikkonen's departure, which was followed by the news that the Finn would return to Sauber on a multi-year deal in 2019. Effectively meaning that him and Leclerc would have swapped positions. And later that morning, Ferrari announced Leclerc's promotion. Now, Leclerc also posted messages to social media, and in them, he thanked Ferrari for the opportunity, but paid tribute to two key figures in his life. His late father, Hervé, who died last year before Leclerc had secured his second record-breaking Formula 2 championship, and former godfather, Jules Bianchi, the Ferrari junior driver who was killed after injuries sustained at the 2014 Japanese Grand Prix.
Yes, really, this wasn't breaking news. As at the last Grand Prix, they were already whispered Kimi Raikkonen was out, and Leclerc was in. There was no, in fact, I don't even think it was. We could at that point in time we could call it rumors anymore. The question was, when is it going to be announced? And they announced it on Tuesday. So I mean, a lot of people feel there was this petition going around. Some people filled some petitions. The number has increased to 1,000, 5,000 to have Kimi Raikkonen stay at Ferrari. Decision that Ferrari has made, and they've been they've even typed up the announcement. It was just to read it out. You're still signing petition, but what it is they're trying to prepare. And Daniel Ricciardo's move on the, I mean, from Red Bull opened up some things to other people. There's still Esteban Ocon, another young guy in Formula One that another team will be looking to snap up, but Ferrari wanted to keep the Leclerc that they've trained and has won two F1 championships, two F2 championships, and has done so well in his first year, getting Sauber some points. So he's a good driver, and I think if you put him in a good car, you may be seeing something really wonderful. So they decided, okay, we're going to go younger from 2019. And of course, it was Kimi Raikkonen that was going to go out. Maybe that's why he did not want to move over for Vettel.
Yeah, it's
you understand? But let's see how it turns out for them. Kimi already has a team, so it's not like Alonso that retired and after having talks and nobody really wanted to snap him up. So let's see how it works. I think Charles Leclerc is a fantastic driver. I've been following him all season, and moving to Ferrari, he'll do very well.
Okay, let's talk about Luis and Enrique hailing the perfect start as Spain boss. Now, Luis and Enrique described it as the perfect stats after Spain backed up their win over England with a 6-0 demolition of Croatia on Tuesday. In his words, Enrique said, "It would be very easy to say that this is my Spain, generating many chances and conceding few goals. But the truth is that I'm changing things very fast. This week, everything was perfect. Comparisons with the World Cup and tonight do not make sense," Enrique said. "Today we were very effective and everything went wonderfully well. They had an early chance, they did not take it, and then we played brilliantly and scored some great goals."
Yeah.
Sounds like someone boasting.
It's not boasting. It's just making a statement of fact.
For good measure.
6-0 is not easy, and it's 6-0 against the World Cup finalists, and the MVP of the World Cup was there. So don't even
That's
you
like
can't. Do you understand? You can't make too much excuses for them. Yes, they're missing what's his name now, the Liverpool defender, Croatia, but that didn't make any excuse for the way that Spain ran rampant over them. They finished work. Let me put it that way on them. It was bad. It was not just the goals. It was the passes. It was the movement. It was confusing. And it just went to show how much a loss of a coach just before the World Cup could affect the whole team. I'm not saying that Spain turned the magic wand on it, but what happened was, I looked at Spain against England. They still looked a bit shaky, and yes, they won that game by 2-1, but they did look a bit shaky, especially in the back, and they looked a bit confused as to where to pass the ball or what to do with the ball when they had moved it forward. This game was a bit more compact, like they started to understand themselves a bit better, and that's what good coaching does to you. And I mean, Fernando Hierro is a sporting director. He's not going to come and give you tactical know-how. No, he doesn't have time. So Spain's training at the World Cup was really bad, and it was down to all that thing, all the drama that happened just before the World Cup. So they have a coach now who's ready to push his team, changing their fitness, changing their routine, changing their attitude to work, and going younger. You can see where I don't know what's going to happen when Diego Costa decides to show up for the national team, because as it is, it seems that Luis Enrique is comfortable with Rodrigo. He wants to play Asensio, and you're wondering, I mean, Asensio scored some fantastic goals in this game.
Yes,
but they're looking at he's just going younger. He's not the old names we want to see. There's some trusted people that he'll put, especially in defense, like the Ramoses and the Sergio Busquets in midfield. But most likely, young people is what he's fielding.
But that's a tough game.
That's a tough one.
Well, let's move on. Speaking of tough games, so England boss Gareth Southgate admitted that of their eventual 1-0 win against Switzerland on Tuesday at the King Power Stadium. Southgate said, "I wasn't in there at the moment because we always give them the first 3 or 4 minutes to themselves. We always encourage them to have a voice, but they were frustrated the first half. It's important they feel close enough that they can get on to each other. We have to make sure that doesn't boil over, but it was quite calm by the time we got in there. There's a good sign there's some leadership in the group and they recognize when they want to be better. But today, they were harsh on themselves.
And they were better than Switzerland. But why weren't they harsh on themselves against Spain? you just be hashing on yourself against. But what it is that yes, they can talk to them, especially on the backdrop of losing to Spain and having that goal cancelled. Well, correct. They had a very poor showing in the first half. And they looked uninterested. They looked like they were ready to go back to their club side. Why they're making me play a game on a Tuesday night when I want to play my club? But by second half, things got a little better. Rashford got the goal that they needed again, and I'm hearing some people clamoring, Jose Mourinho starts Rashford. When he gets to Manchester United training ground and he repeats some feats, then he will start. Otherwise, his bench is waiting for you. But what it is, they sat down, they spoke to themselves, especially on that backdrop, and decided we can do better. And it was a win at the end of the day, whether it was a narrow goal or not. The point is when they come against quality sides again, like Spain, when they come against quality sides like Belgium again, can they be angry at themselves and produce results? Because it's easy to be manufacturing results against some teams, but against those teams that you need to beat to win trophies at the end of the day, can you be harsh on yourself enough to manufacture those results? So good one that they won the game, but let's not make it bigger than it really is.
Okay. So Roy Keane is set to face calls, or is facing calls for him to be sacked as assistant manager of the Republic of Ireland by arguably the country's two most respected former players, Johnny Giles and Liam Brady. Now the fiery Keane is under fire over a recording which allegedly has him swearing at midfielder Harry Atta and veteran striker Jonathan Walters in a training ground bust-up earlier this year as they prepared for friendlies with France and the United States. In his statements, I was quoted to Giles, as he said to the Times, he said, Roy Keane is there to assist the manager. This type of thing shouldn't happen at the best of times. Players who are really injured, unless they're kidding, need a lot of sympathy and a lot of help. As assistant manager, he should be helping Martin, and in the Atta case, he hasn't helped him at all. Is he, that's Keane, equipped to be an assistant manager? Definitely not, added the 77-year-old former Manchester United star.
Yes, okay, so here's what happened. Harry Kane felt, sorry, did I just call him Harry Kane?
Yeah.
Roy Keane.
Roy Keane.
Oh God, Tega.
Wow,
How
wow,
can I
wow,
call Roy
wow,
Keane?
wow.
The great Roy Keane, Harry Kane.
Wow.
You. Not that Harry Kane is not a good striker, but I mean Roy Keane was on another level. Roy Keane felt, and this is how he's been from his playing days. He's such a fighter. He fights. And sometimes that can deliver positive results on the team, and sometimes, like every virtue has its vice.
Yes.
If somebody fights very well for a team to win, when they are losing, they'll fight as dirty, equally as dirty. So you can't cheer one and say why is he so terrible in this? They go hand in hand. And so these players come to training, and he was questioning if they were really injured or not. He was like, okay, maybe because we want to play friendly, maybe that's why you're claiming you are injured. And so,
Wow.
so there was a shouting match between him and some players. One of the players just walked off and left. The other one was really shouting with him, and they were holding him back. I was like, let him lose. Let Roy Keane just give him one small song. Roy Keane has been fighting from the day he was born. I've not seen a time that Roy Keane hasn't fought. On his birthday, on Christmas. Just think about it, he fights. And so it kind of caused a discord. So the players are not happy that he's there. They feel like he's driving them too much, doing a bit too much, always pushing them, always questioning their commitment and this and that. And so people are saying, look, if he's going to cause this kind of trouble, let him go. But what I think is players have changed. Players before, if you yell at them, they'll bring out their best result. Players now, you yell at them, they'll go to corner and sulk. I mean, people have changed, and that's what it is. I know that he's not the best people manager. I always think that if he's managing somebody, he needs somebody else to kind of balance it out.
Yes.
Because his temper is all the way there. So he needs somebody to balance it out. But for these older guys to just come and say, fire him. Liam Brady, really?
Wow.
From your mouth? Liam
Really?
Brady? We know you.
Let's take a couple of messages before we have to go on a break. Tony Ayo from Ayobo says, these Spanish boys are under the spirits I call the Tega spirits. They are on a high, but kudos to the new coach. ZZ Classic says, George Weah is my MVP. I can't believe he's still fit at 51, playing 79 minutes, while our own Victor Moses retired at 27.
Ah.
Wow.
People should leave Victor Moses alone.
Shay says, I still talk about George Weah playing 79 minutes. We would just have played Okocha. Finidiana.
Do you understand? If he had told us.
Tega, please tell Genoro to believe in our home base Eagles. But where is Dalong? He's too silent, and it's a loud silence.
Wow.
And this one is in from Shagan from Ikorodu, who says, men, Spain thrashed Russia 2018 finalists just after 2 months. Modric, where art thou? Lookman to switch to Nigeria. Exciting times. Interesting. But let's go on this break. When we come back, we'll be talking about our final story. That's just rumor now. Has it happened? It has not happened.
Make me feel.
Okay, that's it. Yes, I really like these chairs, but this one is more relaxing. This line chairs.
Those
I just
ones
leave
are
it on my
outside.
desk, yeah. Yes, if I have money from my family, I would now be like, oh yeah, this
So I
one.
used to have this lounge chair outside.
Yeah.
That's why I used to dream that Michael Jackson was going to land this plane at my backyard.
Okay, I understand.
Now I'm
I
awake.
understand. No.
And
So
why
the
not
armchair
okay, like this
is
one
my
here?
preference. That's what I really want. Then the second one is that.
So how much are these chairs talking?
100 and
Are they
something.
well?
Are they what?
Are they well for one chair?
Yeah.
That's I will sit on
The
this chair.
chair and the footstool, yeah, that's it. Didn't you hear me say I don't have money
I
for
don't
chair?
want
But you don't want
that.
to
I will take the picture and go and give it to Rafiu.
No,
No,
leave
they're
that
gorgeous.
in.
Because the first of all, it's full
What
and
are you
shaking.
And the
First,
wood they use
first.
is different.
And the
Ah,
craftsmanship
nothing.
is
This
a
one, I have notes out
craftsmanship.
to my ears. Go away.
So
Can you
this
sing
and
better
this I
than me?
love. This I
Let's
like
do a
because
competition.
it's
Singing competition.
But this just looks like it'll both be comfortable and practical. I mean, if I was a grandma, I'd get this rocking chair for real, because that's
I
actually
know.
what I want in my soul. But I will not work if I have a rocking chair. This I'll just be doing throughout instead of
You just be
focusing on my
lounging in
work.
that chair.
I swear that
And
is
be
just
sleeping
a
in the chair.
very, yeah. So, but just a proper version of this. But I love this color because it goes with my room.
Okay.
That's why. The color setting works with my room. These are the ones. This one will just, when it gets older, to look horrible. It'll start looking very dirty. This one is a better color as well, but it doesn't go with anything in my room.
You like light colors. That one that I say, well, that's the one I like.
Okay, the other one, the light.
Yeah, this one. That's the one I like. I don't like.
I'm not a fan of this color. This Ashoke.
It looks like old people's color.
I was gonna say I feel like I have one of my grandmother's Ashoke like this.
Don't worry, I'm old in my mind. I haven't you noticed? I don't say no. Just give me that chair. All these things are too bright for me. They'll be hurting my eyes.
Very nice.
I love this. This is what I want. It's just that I can't add it to my Amazon wish list.
Why not? Oh, it's not on
It's
Amazon.
not on Amazon. Do you see it on
Supplementary list.
Amazon?
Supplementary.
If there was, I would add this, but there's no supplementary list.
Turkish Airlines, it's a magnificent stopover in Istanbul.
Yeah. So that's this Adoni collection.
Phosphorus view, well
Also, it's really lovely.
between two continents. Economy class passengers are entitled to 1 night of free.
Go back up to this.
No.
10 seconds.
Enjoy 2 nights. Compliments of Turkish Airlines. Terms and conditions apply. For more information, please visit turkishairlines.com.
Studio, Max, you're up.
Hi, this is Letty C, and you're on Nigeria's #1 station for soul, jazz, and funk. Smooth 98.1. Love music, love life.
On the last bit of sporting stories inside of the locker room, remember to send your messages to us on Twitter. Use the hashtag LockerRoom981.
We have this message in from Chika Gino who says Deja Lovren boasted during the World
That's
Cup
the name of the defender I
that
was
he
looking for.
single-handedly helped Liverpool and Croatia to Champions League and the World Cup final. You shared him now. He did not play. Croatia received 6-0 from Spain.
So they beat the 6-0 from only his defense.
That's what he said.
Hi, this thing is paining me now. You will play the next 6-0 that they'll chop.
Let's carry on. So final story, Richarlison capped his first full start for Brazil by scoring twice as the South American Giants thrashed El Salvador 5-0. Yikes. At FedEx Field on Tuesday. The 21-year-old produced two excellent strikes on 16 and 15 minutes to reward the faith shown in him by manager Tite. El Salvador barely mustered a chance as Brazil, led by Paris Saint-Germain star Neymar, who played the entire 90 minutes, by the way. Oh, well done, Neymar. Put out an excellent performance in front of their adoring American-based fans in the U.S. capital. Tite and his coaching staff are ready to move on from their disappointing showing at the World Cup this summer, where they lost to Belgium in the last 8 and are now focused on the 2019 Copa America in Brazil.
Yes.
When does Copa America kick
That it's still next year.
Okay. Oh, yes, that's true.
It's still
You know, my mind is ready to, because so many things are happening in 2019, election, Copa,
Yeah.
I mean, it's like it's
Yeah, election, AFCON.
it just feels like it's
Women's World Cup.
Is that year that just breeze past?
There's a lot in that June. June alone, there's a lot. But we'll watch all. We have eye. The eyes, no, the eyes are never satisfied. We'll watch all. But here is what it is. I think what it is with Brazil is they're still looking for that striker, like the real Ronaldo striker, not CR7. That's what. I know I'm from the 90s, so I would say real Ronaldo.
okay. But that is the original.
But that's the striker. That's the kind of striker they're looking for. So they've been trying a lot of things. Firmino doesn't just cut it. Gabriel Jesus is not really the guy. And they're trying out Richarlison. Yes, he scored 2 goals against El Salvador, but if he comes up against Belgium, can he score 2 goals? Is the question that we're asking themselves. So they're still looking for that guy in the middle that they can go to. If they could just switch Luis Suarez's nationality, they'll be all right, but they can't. So that's the guy, and because of that, they keep trying people. Firmino did score in their last game, and this is Richarlison scoring. But the question is, how consistent can they bring these results? And so they keep trying all. I think everywhere else on the pitch, if you ask me, Brazil is complete, apart from that traditional striker role, which is the players that they need. They have names are there, Firmino, Gabriel Jesus, they have this name, but they do not yet have that quality. So let them keep trying till they find it.
All right. Thank you very much. We have a no, I'm not taking this message.
Yeah,
now.
Valentine, your high notes are hurting my
No.
ears. That's what No Less says.
I sing better than you, no less. Look at that.
But we're done basically talking sports inside
Yes,
the locker
we
room.
are.
Thank you to everyone who sent in messages. We've got to sign out. Coming up next in the final hour, Smooth Breakfast. See you later. Talk. Tega, thank you very much for being us.
You're
Find out
welcome.
Online at Tega Supreme. Yeah,
I'm just
deleted
sad.
one of these songs, Valentine. So my stop.